Breaking now, Migrant Caravan is breaching our border. Where's the National Guard? By Johnny Smith for rwnofficial.com. And once again, it looks like we will end up getting stuck with people who are too weak to fight for their own country. As we have been following for over a month now, Central Americans in a caravan of asylum seekers have traveled through Mexico with immunity in order to get to the border with San Diego, are receiving final information before they turn themselves in to U.S. authorities. The caravan organizers gave the migrants a final briefing Sunday that was closed to the media before they head to the nation's busiest border crossing to seek asylum. Border Patrol agents released a statement yesterday confirming that several groups associated with the caravan have been legally climbing a scrap metal border fence. The statement also warned anyone with the caravan to think before you act. The Secretary of Homeland Security added in a statement earlier this week that anyone seeking asylum may be detained while their claims are adjudicated. Protesters in the area say the migrants are taking advantage of lax U.S. immigration laws. A group called San Diego for Secure Borders plans to protest at Friendship Park, while they make clear migrants are unwelcome and that their claims for asylum are false. Although President Donald Trump has been tracking the caravan, calling it a threat to the U.S., it's starting to look like not much will be able to be done to stop them because these people are seeking asylum for whatever they feel their nation has wronged them on. They will then be given a court date where they will most certainly never show up. In turn, we will have to house them, give them money, and educate them so they can later fly the flag of their native nations they love so much, but which didn't give a crap about them to begin with. So they had to flee for whatever reason. That's the way it looks here. Watch the illegals climb the fence here. Why would you have to feed them and do everything? They're not legally here. You don't have to do that. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Why don't they show the people climbing? What are they showing? The fence? It's a terrible video. Oh, there they are. All right. Footage today of Central Americans from the caravan reaching the San Diego border wall. The migrants are climbing the face and cheering, "Gracias, Mexico." The disrespect for our borders and for our country is beyond belief. This is an attempt at invasion. #StopTheCaravan. That's all. People scale the border fence in Tijuana as Migrant Caravan prepares to seek asylum. This one's a better video. You can see them there. The Columbia Bugle breaking: the migrant caravan is preparing to breach our border.
Things first, as we've been watching these pictures now for about 10 minutes, where is the Border Patrol? Where are U.S. authorities to stop these people?
That's what I'd like to know.
Well, we are in Tijuana right now. We're with the Immigrant Caravan as well as their supporters, probably more supporters than immigrants, if you will. So I am in Tijuana. This is the Pacific Ocean right here. The fence, as you can see, extends out into the ocean about 50 to 100 yards. Now, Rob, what we're going to do is push through. Okay, if you can see over there, there's another group of people. They're on the U.S. side, so you have a double fence in this area. And as we go up, this is where the fence extends in Imperial Beach. So over on that side is the U.S., over on this side is Tijuana. You kind of have a no man's land in between. This area actually used to be the most heavily traveled area along the border. This is where the first border fence was built back in the 90s. And here you have a double fence, if you will. Now you can see some individuals have climbed up. Let me jump over here. Yeah, climbed up on top of it. They got up there pretty darn quick. And as Rob has pushed through, those are basically Central American immigrants in the U.S. who've come here to show their sign up port. Leland?
William, just if you can hear me, any sign of the Border Patrol or Customs and Immigration or the National Guard that's been deputized to come down here?
Yeah. Well, the Border Patrol is, Leland, I've been down here about 2 or 3 dozen times, right? Usually on the U.S. side. The Border Patrol is, I can't see their vehicles from here, or you can't, but they're posed right over there. They're about 50 yards away on the U.S. side, on the other side of a double fence. It's very highly fortified, actually. But yeah, the Border Patrol is here. National Guard is not going to come down this far towards the border.
The Border Patrol, William, are all these people that we're watching climb over the fence, is the Border Patrol then interdicting them, or are they just letting them go to the greeting committee?
No, these individuals, I have not seen anyone actually jump over on the other side, okay? So they're on the top of the fence. To my knowledge, they would be apprehended very quickly if they did.
Okay, so they will be apprehended if they climb over
the entire 2,000-mile border. So they climbed up there. They're making a point. They're talking to the supporters on the north side, but no one is actually climbing over. They'd be interdicted in the no man's land very quickly.
It's Elizabeth.
Okay, so we got it. So, more video from CBS News without sound. Okay. And from Reuters, in some of the Mexico towns playing host to a caravan of more than 1,200 Central American migrants heading to the U.S. border, the welcome mat has been rolled out despite President Donald Trump's call for Mexican authorities to stop them. Local officials have offered lodging in town squares and empty warehouses or arranged transport for the migrants participants in a journey organized by the immigrant advocacy group Pueblo Sin Fronteras. The officials have conscripted buses, cars, ambulances, and police trucks. But the help may not be entirely altruistic. The authorities want us to leave their cities, said Rodrigo Abija, an organizer for Pueblo Sin Fronteras. They've been helping us in part to speed the massive group out of their jurisdictions. At some point this spring, the caravan's 2,000-mile journey that began at Tapachula near the Guatemalan border on March 25th will end at the U.S. border, where some of its members will apply for asylum while others will attempt to sneak into the United States. Abija said there was a lot of pressure from authorities to stop the caravan because of Donald Trump's reaction. The Mexican government issued a statement late on Monday saying it was committed to legal and orderly migration. The government said that the caravan had been taking place since 2010 and was largely made up of Central Americans entering Mexico who had not met the necessary legal requirements. For this reason, participants in this caravan are subject to an administrative migratory procedure, while 400 have already been repatriated in their countries of origin in strict accordance with the law and respecting their human rights, it said. Those without permission to stay in Mexico or who had failed to request it through the proper channels could expect to be returned to their homelands, a government official said, speaking on condition of anonymity. Doing little, Trump railed on Twitter against the caravan on Monday, accusing Mexico of doing very little, if not nothing, to stop the flow of immigrants crossing the U.S. border illegally. They must stop the big drug and people flows, or I will stop their cash cow NAFTA, he concluded. Mexico's Interior Minister, Alfonso Navarrete, did not directly address the caravan, but he wrote on Twitter that he spoke to the U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Christian Nielsen on Monday, and that the two had agreed to analyze the best ways to attend to the flow of migrants in accordance with the laws of each country. Mexico must walk a delicate line with the United States because the countries are in the midst of renegotiating the NAFTA along with Canada. At the same time, Mexican left-wing presidential candidate Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador has an 18-point lead ahead of the July 1st election, according to a poll published on Monday. Obrador's victory could usher in a Mexican government less accommodating towards the United States on both trade and immigration issues. Mexican Senator Angelica de la Pena, who presides over the Senate's Human Rights Commission, told Reuters that Mexico should protect migrants' rights despite the pressure from Trump. Well, they can do all they want. You know, I don't really care about this. I refuse to pay for this. So, I mean, I'm not going to go into a 3-hour article, on this garbage. They should be stopped, and, I could care less who's in charge over in Mexico. This is being funded by George Soros, and enough is enough, because what are they saying here? That we have to pay for them? Yeah, how did they get the cars and buses and everything? Who's paying? It's Soros funded. Okay, so what do they say? That we have to pay for this? I mean, they're sadly mistaken if they think that the American people are dishing out for this kind of trash. This is not Europe, tell them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.